welcome you back to one of our afternoon artist talks. Now, I know I say every time we have a special treat for you, because we always do, because the artists who are part of the Marco Island Center for the Arts family, well, they're just extraordinary. And today is no exception. I want to take this moment to introduce you to Deb Crine. Deb, good to see you. Now, Deb is coming on because we're going to talk for a little bit before we talk more about your art. We were talking before we started. Deb has an exhibition coming up in our La Petite Gallery. It's going to open November 9th. There will be a reception for both her exhibition as well as Here and There, the exhibition that's in the large gallery, which is the work of 5 Cuban-born artists. It's staying with us from October through November. And then Deb's exhibition will be with us until December 3rd. Now, Deb, tell us a little bit about the artwork we can expect.
Okay, well, I've been working since the pandemic. I kind of got into color pencil drawings and working with pastels, and particularly doing pet portraits and wildlife portraits. So I have about 15 to 16 pieces I'm hoping to get in there. I'm still working on one right now. Of all, different wildlife and some of the pet portraits that I've done, like I said, in a mix of color pencil and pastel. I use pastel pencils, soft pastels, and the drawings are done on a variety of different types of paper, so I think it'll be pretty interesting.
What different types of paper are you working on?
I use sanded papers and I use smooth papers. I'm actually now fooling around with drafting film, and it's been really interesting to see. Color pencil is very new to me. I really just started working with it this year, and how it behaves and how you mix colors on the different supports. I mean, when you're working on something like a sanded paper versus a very slick paper, like it's not even paper, support like drafting film, you have to work with the pencils differently, how you layer them, how you combine colors. So it's been, I think that's the thing that interests me most about it, is every time I try a new type of paper, and even different pencils, whether they're wax-based or oil-based, how you layer them and how they behave with one another. So it's a very slow medium, which I kind of like too. I can put on a good book and just sit and draw, and it's time consuming. It's not anything that you can rush through, but it's been really exciting, and I just love it.
Deb, can you give anybody a little sneak peek of maybe some of the paintings that they might be able to come and see live? Do you have something there with you?
Yeah, this is one I just recently finished. Can you see that?
I can see that.
Yes, that's a leopard, and he is done on a drafting film. I actually just finished him a couple of days ago. Absolutely loved doing this. This is a wildlife. It was a photograph that I had gotten permission from the photographer to draw, and I just fell in love with it. It came out better than I had hoped for, on the drafting film. And
it's so lifelike, Deb. I mean, all of these paintings, I just have to tell our viewing audience here, Deb actually did a portrait for me of my beloved cat, Nova, the evil cat, and it is probably one of my favorite pieces of art in my home. I have it in my office, and I was telling her every day when Nova follows me to the office, I say, that's you. That was made because you're so handsome. But let's see another piece, Deb. I mean, they're so detailed. Oh!
This is a Leon Burger, and again, this is on color pencil. This is on a smooth paper. And as someone viewing the artwork, I mean, it's not going to be obvious what types of paper, nor is it really particularly important, but it's fascinating to me to work on the different surfaces and see how things come out differently. But the pet portraits that I've been doing, I've been doing some for hire, and I've also, recently the Humane Society had done a fundraiser, and I donated a few portraits to them. So that was fun, every dog is different and the different furs, and so it's been fun. It's been keeping me busy.
So do you gravitate more towards canine or feline, or is it both? Are you an even opportunity drawer?
Well, the cats are a little more interesting to draw because the fur is a little more interesting. I'd say that they are probably a little easier. With dogs, you've got the long hair, you've got the curly hair, you've got the wild, fuzzy hair. So some of those things are very challenging. The cats, their challenge comes in with trying to emulate the depth of fur and the richness of all that color. Like, how do you layer the pencils to mimic the fur of the cat? So yeah, I like them both. I mean, I thought I would like the dogs more, but every time I do a cat, I'm kind of like, this is a little, it's challenging and it's fun. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I've seen the baby lion cub that was in our show earlier this summer that I know a friend of mine bought, and that little feline face, and of course those amazing teeth on that leopard coming out. That literally, a lot of the time, and I think I can share this when Deb is working, she'll post some of her work on Facebook so you can see the evolution of a piece, and it's what got me through a lot of tough times. I would just go to her Facebook page so I could see what she was working on because the work was so breathtaking. It's so beautiful. So I really hope people are able to come. We're very, very, very safe here at the Marco Island Center for the Arts. We do ask that you wear a mask. We're taking all of our cleaning precautions. We are making sure people stay safely at a distance. So we are here. Your health, safety, and well-being is of paramount importance. So know that you can come. You know, if you're worried, just drive by. If there aren't a lot of cars in the parking lot, and unfortunately, there are sometimes not a lot of cars in our parking lot these days, please stop in. We're here, we're open, and we would love to see you. But Deb, I want to learn a little bit more about you as an artist, because when I first met you and work that I've seen here in the at the Art Center for various shows that you've entered, you were a modern quilter. You were working in fabric and textiles. So tell me a little bit about that and how you've gone from that's a very specific kind of art form to suddenly doing these incredible drawings. I mean, it's just the scope and breadth of what you can do is limitless.
Thank you. Yeah, quilting is probably my number one passion. And when I retired, I got into quilting just kind of by mistake. I walked into a store, saw a quilt, and at that time they sold kits, and I bought the kit and I made a quilt. I did do a little bit of traditional quilting, and this is probably close to 20 years now. And I soon got tired of working in the traditional way, and I wanted to I had always been someone interested in painting and painted a little bit when my children were younger. So I wanted to take that love of painting and combining it with my quilting, and I started painting with acrylic paints on cotton. But I wasn't really particularly happy with how it changed the hand of the fabric, and it just wasn't giving me the look I liked. And I stumbled across a silk painter who I have studied with for probably about 8 or 9 years. And once I started painting on silk, that was it. I found my love of painting, and I could combine that with my love of quilting, and have since created some very large pieces that have gone on to international shows and have done well at the shows, and it's just been fabulous. I mean, it's unlike anything I had done in the past. And then just taking a piece, just a big piece of white silk and drawing an animal on it and then painting it, it with dye on silk. And the dyes that I work with, they have to be steamed. So after I'm done painting on the silk, I have to put them in a steamer. And then I go on to the quilting process. So a piece takes months, one piece. I only do about 2 or 3 pieces a year on the quilting side of things. So it's very laborious, but it's the whole process I enjoy. There isn't any part of that month-long process that I don't love. So that's been a lot of fun. And the drawing part, I wanted to get into color pencil and pastels because I wanted to improve my drawing skills, because I think the stronger I am as someone who can draw something, the better painter I'll be. And when you're working, on a quilt particularly, when you sit down to do all of the quilting, it's really like drawing. So if I have done a large cat, on a silk painting, and I need to now quilt in the fur, basically I'm drawing with a needle and thread. So I can take all those lessons, that I've learned, through actually drawing with a pencil, and take that to my long arm machine and use the thread and needle as my paper and pencil. So yeah, so they do, even though they're very different, every time you do a piece, your artwork gets better and better because you learn something from that piece. Yeah.
And so have you always been an artist? I mean, have such an amazing grasp of looking at form and addressing these various mediums. I mean, is this something you've done your whole life?
No, I mean, when I have no formal training. When I had my children were young, I stayed home and I had an interest in it. And I had said to you earlier, I watched Bob Ross, who was, all of us on PBS. I love the guy. I mean, he was just wonderful. I'd have my canvas and my little paints and, very much self-taught. I did take some drawing classes at college. Like life drawing classes, but I never really did anything other than that when I was younger. And once my kids were probably 6 or 7 years old, I went back to work and worked in corporate America for until I was about 45. I retired, and at that point, then I started taking some workshops, quilting workshops, and I got into the silk painting, and I would go out to Port Angeles, Washington, and work with a master silk painter, and she taught me how to really work with the dyes and how to work with salt and alcohol and just create movements. And so it's just my passion. I just fell in love with it.
Wow. Well, with all of these skills, have you ever thought about teaching what you know?
I did teach silk painting for a while. The thing with the type of silk painting that I do is when I was teaching it to quilters, and it was very good. They loved it because they could, at the end of the day, it's like an 8-hour workshop. At the end of the day, they had a piece done that they could take home and quilt. But because of the product that I use, I had to take all of the pieces home with me and steam everything and then mail them to them. So it got to be a little much. And my daughter was helping me at the time, and then she went back to work and had a baby. And I was like, this isn't something I wanted to do on my own. So I think if I have been asked that before. I think if I could find a product that would give me the results that I'm getting on silk, that wouldn't necessarily, where people can just leave with their painting and I don't have to take it home, steam it, and mail it back to them, it would be something I would probably pursue. But maybe this color pencil I'll teach at some point once I feel like I'm more comfortable with it.
Well, Deb, you know where you can always come and get a teaching gig. Right around the corner, Marco Island Center for the Arts. We have a really full and robust adult education program, both on-site and online, and we are always looking for some new instructors. So I'm going to remember this. Deb, I have one question. Who or what has been a major influence on your work? And it may be more than one person, but who do you really feel has been just absolutely elemental in the development of who you are as an artist?
It would have to be Karen Sistic, that's the master silk painter. She's been a master silk painter 30 years. She has a studio out in Port Angeles, Washington, and I've gone and stayed with her 3 times. And she really changed my life. I mean, when I met her and I saw the work that she was doing, it just took my breath away. And I knew, if I could learn her techniques, and I could take that and do my quilting with that I would have something magical and something very special. And she has, to this day, we're always in touch. She's one of my greatest friends, and she is so giving with her knowledge, and I can't say enough about her. I mean, if there's anyone interested in silk painting, this is the level of expertise you need to go to. She's just fabulous. Yeah.
Well, Deb, I want to thank you for joining us here today. I want to remind our friends that Deb's exhibition in our La Petite Gallery is going to be coming in and will be with us starting November 9th with a reception on November 10th. And those receptions are, you have to make a reservation. We limit them to a very small number for everybody's safety. We do ask that you wear a mask in the building, but we will have a small wine bar set up outside, so we will be happy to give you a complimentary glass of wine outside where you can safely social distance and enjoy that. But please, come by, come join us, even if it's just for a few minutes. Get a chance to see Deb's incredible work. You will be glad that you did. And a few other things that are going on this week or in the very near future at the Marco Island Center for the Arts. This Wednesday at 5:30, we are going to be streaming on our YouTube and our Facebook page a short international film fest. We're working with Lynn Holly, who had my job at the Marco Island Center for the Arts before me, and she is now the founder and curator of a international film festival and a 3-minute film festival out in California. So we have quite a treat. It's 6 short films. The whole stream, including an interview with Lynn, it's probably going to be about 40 minutes. So come join us. It's something you can, and there's no charge. This is just another program so that we can continue to feel connected to you and keep you with us and provide inspiration along your artistic journey. And then on Thursday, October 29th, another marvelous artist, a millinery expert, Diane Chagat of Hats to Die For, located right here on Marco Island, is going to be having an online virtual workshop where we will learn how to make cockades. Now, what's a cockade? It is a ribbon badge formerly that would have been worn on a hat or perhaps livery that would denote affiliation with an organization or a rank if you were an officer. But Diane's cockades are really spectacular for the holidays. You can use them as Christmas ornaments. I have an entire Christmas tree just covered with her cockades. Or you can use them to wrap packages or use as a napkin ring on your place setting. I even took one, put it on a hairband, and wore it as a fascinator. So we have a few spots that are available. And did I forget to mention that this is a fundraiser for the Marco Island Center for the Arts, so that 100% of what you will pay to take the workshop all comes back to us so that we can continue to deliver programs throughout the community. Last but not least, November 5th, we are going to kick off our musical interlude series with Patchouli and Terra Guitarra. And after talking to a lot of our music patrons, we are going to present this concert outside in our courtyard. So you'll be able to take your chair and put it in a nice, comfortable, safe place and enjoy the music out in the fresh air. The musicians have been wonderful working with us to set this up. And if you're not here on Marco, or maybe you're still not going out, we are going to be offering you a streaming version of the concert we had hoped to have inside that involves these gorgeous artistic projections. It's a really immersive art experience. And again, these very generous musicians we're going to be filming them, and then we're going to start a live stream of the indoor concert right when the outdoor concert happens. And you can go on our website or give us a call here at 239-394-4221. Tickets for the streaming concert are only $5. $5. And that stream will be available for you from 5:30 on November 5th until midnight on November 8th. So you can watch it again and again and again. So please come on down, enjoy some music, support us here at the Marco Island Center for the Arts. If you enjoyed our talk today, I know I did, please, if you're watching this on YouTube, we would really love it if you could like this video, maybe share it with a friend, and while you're there, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so we can continue to grow. And hey, why not ring the bell so we can keep you updated on all of the new content that we're producing and putting on our YouTube channel weekly. Deb, I want to thank you. This has just been great. I've so enjoyed talking to you, and I cannot wait until you bring your work in here, because I am going to be walking into that exhibit daily, because I know it will just make me smile. So thank you so much. We really appreciate this.
I'll see you soon.
We'll see everybody later this week with another artist talk. Thank you very much. Everybody have a good day. Bye-bye.
Bye.